Do you want to become a professionally licensed tattoo artist? Well, my name is Ben Shaw, and I'm a 22-year tattoo artist and business owner, but I've also spent the better part of a decade serving under my state's regulation and licensing department and have helped many navigate the issues of licensure, especially getting into the industry professionally. Now, it's very difficult because each individual place in the United States regulates differently. There's very few places some places regulate per state, some per city, some per county, some per city and county. So it's sometimes difficult to really understand how to become a licensed professional. But here are some general tips to help you get in the right direction. Now, I highly suggest you avoid the temptation of tattooing at home. Tattooing at home without training could lead to some negative things like infections. Or if your state requires an apprenticeship, tattooing at home without any training is a really quick way to put off any potential mentors. So avoid the home tattooing. In most states, you require to be 18, an adult, a high school diploma, or something equivalent like a GED. Now, because each individual area is different, I highly suggest you look up your city's health department, contact them, or your state's regulation and licensing department. They should be able to point you in the right direction of what's required in your area. Let's start with an apprenticeship. Let's just say you want to learn under a tattoo artist one-on-one. Start doing some research on that potential mentor. Don't waste your time until you've verified that that potential artist has gone through the proper steps themselves. In a lot of places, there's a database of those artists. It'll show if their license is up to date and current, or if it's expired. Maybe there's some disciplinary action and they couldn't even license you anyway. You want to find out if they've had experience. Have they apprenticed anyone in the past before? If so, has that apprentice got a good job? Do they have a successful career now? Or is this mentor starting a bunch of apprenticeships, but none of them actually make it, right? Good to do that research. Also, again, make sure that they have gone through that legal process and they have a city, state, or county approved curriculum. Meaning, you want to know what they're going to teach you. Make sure that they're going to teach you the tools you need to have a successful career. There's so much information and knowledge you need to become a successful tattoo artist. Make sure they're going to teach you the proper education. Next, you want to find out if it's a paid or unpaid apprenticeship. What do I mean by that? Well, are you going to have to pay for that apprenticeship? If so, does that mean you're going to pay for that apprenticeship and afterwards you get released and then find yourself a job at another studio? Or is it more of a traditional apprenticeship where you don't pay for it, but you earn the education, which then typically earns you a spot in the tattoo studio afterwards, which is a good way to determine which place and which way you want to go. Pro tip. When you're starting an apprenticeship, make sure that your mentor is keeping a log of everything you're learning. Maybe you guys are even initialing it every day that you learn. If not, ask if you can keep a log of all the education that you're learning. That way, there's proof of what you've learned. Now, tattoo schools. As I mentioned, some places have the option of you can go to a tattoo school or do an apprenticeship. Or there's some places like Oregon where you require a tattoo school to become licensed. Similarly to seeking out a mentor, you want to find out if that school is accredited. You'll also want to find out about their curriculum. Same thing. Interview and meet some of their graduates. See if they've gone into the workforce and now have a successful career. Or have they graduated from this tattoo school and then they get blacklisted by other studios because it's got a horrible reputation. Traditionally, tattoo schools were not accepted by the industry. So you have to be very careful when you're attempting to go through that method of education. Another pro tip. Virtually every city, state, or county will require a bloodborne pathogens, first aid, and CPR certification. Yes, there are many places you can obtain those online, but I highly suggest you go and train in person to get that education and experience. Well, this was just some very general information because each individual place, like I said, can be different. Do you have any specific issues you're dealing with? Are there any hurdles that you just cannot seem to get over? Reach out to me. I've spent a lot of time helping individuals navigate their subjective issues. That helps me create more content to help other people get into the industry professionally, safely, and ethically. Let me help you by giving you the tools to navigate your rules.